We at TRISHAKTI Defence Academy Lucknow, in our series of current affairs with special reference to what is happening on our bordering nations, today we'll be covering the latest in Bangladesh. With me, we have General S.K. Singh, who is our patron of the academy, and he is a known defense expert. Before I go over to the pointed questions to him, I will give out some background to how Bangladesh was created, formed, how it was ruled, and what all major events have taken place in the last many years that Bangladesh was created. As you all know, in 1971, with the help of India in general and Indian Army in particular, the creation of Bangladesh took place. It was 16th of December 1971. Initially, it was a secular country. Sheikh Mujib had named it as a secular country, and he started to rule the country the way people wanted. However, in 1975, exactly on 15th of August 1975, with the help of military, Sheikh Mujib's family, consisting of 17 members, was killed in Dhaka. However, that time, Sheikh Hasina, his daughter, was not in Bangladesh. In fact, her brother was also not there in Bangladesh. So they got saved. After that, there was a series of military rule, and then elected government also with the support of Bangladesh Army was brought in. However, as the time passed, Sheikh Hasina was heading the party formed by her father. In 1981, she could go back to Bangladesh, and her political activities were taken care of. Then in 1977 also, as you remember, some coup had taken place on Ziaur Rahman. Then Ziaur Rahman was assassinated on March 30, 1991 in Chittagong. And after that, we had the shared power or supported power. However, in 1982, Army Chief General Irshad, he seized the control, remained president until 1990. In February 2009, Bangladesh Rifles revolted after Sheikh Hasina was sworn in as Prime Minister for the second time. And since then, she has been ruling the Bangladesh. However, her predecessor, she was jailed for 18 years, and as of today, she has been released from the jail. And in last 1 month only, the uprising started in Bangladesh. It started with the reservation, which was brought down by their highest court to very small percentages. However, it appears as if the Prime Minister was not in picture. Similarly, the firing on the protesters also took place, apparently without consultation with the Prime Minister of the day. It was on 5th that things became out of control, and that is yesterday, Sheikh Hasina had to fly by an army helicopter. She is at Delhi. She landed up at Hindon near Ghaziabad, and she is in the, you can say, custody or as a refugee or she has been given shelter by India. Of course, that is being opposed by many countries, and she may be trying to get asylum in some other country. Yesterday, the Chief of Army Staff, Waqarul Jama, he came on the TV and told the world that things are under safe hands, and till the time a government is formed, army will be in control of the things in Bangladesh. The latest is that Muhammad Yunus, who is a Nobel Prize winner, he is the master behind the Grameen micro banking, which was started in Bangladesh, and he was given Nobel Prize. He is a known leftist, and let's see what happens. But it appears as if he will be the caretaker prime minister for the time being. I mentioned about the secular and Muslim. After 1975, Bangladesh became an Islamic country. However, Sheikh Hasina has not changed it, which was a little bit strange. But however, it continued to be an Islamic state. Just a point of mention that at the time of independence of Bangladesh, that is independence of India in 1947, when Bangladesh was known as East Pakistan, the percentage of Hindus was 20%. In 1971, it was about 18%, and as of now, it is 8%. For other details, I'll request General S.K. Singh to take on certain questions which have come to me by calling from our contributors. Welcome to you, sir, again.
Jai Hind. Jai Hind, viewers.
Sir, the first question which I have got in my kitty is, what were the specific reasons for the present turmoil? Why all of a sudden the incumbent PM had to leave the country? The election that had just taken few months back.
You see, we need to, I mean, your question is very pertinent and apt, I would say, keeping the current situation in mind. You see, all of a sudden, I would say this thing has happened all of a sudden. The thing was boiling, actually. And I would like to take a little back when the elections were held last time, in which, it was just a one-party election. The opposition party was, as it is, not participating in the election, and Khalida Zia was in the jail, and so it was a one-sided election. Apart from few independents, of course, they participated, and they had won also. So things had started from there, and the reason which the students march and all those things, student protest, it started with the students protest on the pretext that the employment, the question of unemployment, only jobs were being given to the Sheikh Mujibur Rahman ke saath, all those who have registered with that particular trust, I mean, who were a member of those, they were only being given the jobs, others are not getting jobs. So that was the main, just the starting, I would say, the tip of the iceberg. But actually, what to my mind, it was the army actually who was behind all of them, and it was, of course, fueled by various reasons. It was fueling में, I would say, various external forces and internal forces भी हैं. Internal forces, of course, Khalida Zia's party, the opposition party, and of course the army themselves, they want. And if you see the videos which have come out, even the army guys they have entered into the president's house, and they have removed so many things and all, and they're very happy and they're enjoying and they're in a joyful mood. So that shows that army was also behind all the violence which took place, all the protests which took place. And certain role of foreign elements, like first of all the ISI of Pakistan. So Pakistan's hand is also cannot be denied. And of course, the two main, the two super powers, I would say, the USA and China. China, as you know, China has got its own interest. They want some naval bases and other things in Bangladesh. And if you remember, recently, about a few months back, the president she had visited China, but halfway through only she had to leave, because China was unnecessary demanding a lot of things. They were demanding Bangladesh should give them free trade agreement should be there, and they were asking for a naval base to come up, Chinese base to come up, which the president never wanted. So Sheikh Hasina never wanted that way. So naturally, she had to leave halfway through. So it was not liked by China. So Chinese pressure from the China, pressure from America. You see, the bonhomie which was there between India and Bangladesh, with the personal relationship, I would say, between Prime Minister Modi and Sheikh Hasina. It was a very good relationship between the two countries. If you see the government also, how well the government was doing, the economy was building up, the happiness factor also, if you see, it was listed, I mean, below 100, whereas India stands at 116. So things were going smooth. But all of a sudden, this thing, so I would say these are the various factors, various external forces, internal forces, the combined effect, that was the boiling point. And Sheikh Hasina was given time by the army also. Madam Mesko improved the situation, and which she had agreed to the demands of the students. But still, I mean, that was just, I would say, just an excuse. But their main aim was to topple a government. And finally, the situation was such that she had to leave the country. She had to flee from the country. And of course, she took the first shelter within India, because they feel very safe in India. And finally, of course, she'll be, I think, applying to UK for asylum there. So till such time that permission doesn't come, she will continue to stay here as a state guest, I would say, in India. So these are the various reasons, I would say, which led into the present turmoil.
आपने जिक्र किया कि चाइना की मदद से शायद मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि काफी कुछ जो शेख हसीना ने दिखाया कि हम तरक्की कर रहे हैं, डेवलपमेंट कर रहे हैं और कंस्ट्रक्शन एक्टिविटीज, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर एक्टिविटीज हुई, कहीं ऐसा तो नहीं कि इसमें चाइना का पैसा था और उनका निहित स्वार्थ था। और मैडम जो है वो बहुत ज्यादा क्लियर नहीं थी कि चाइना की तरफ ली जाए या भारत की तरफ, और सारी अपोजिशन पार्टियां उनके खिलाफ हो गई थी और उनको तानाशाह की तरह लोगों ने देखना शुरू कर दिया। तो काफी पावर जैसे डीप स्टेट्स वगैरह हैं, ये सब इन चीजों के लिए जिम्मेदार हैं। लेकिन अभी आपसे ये सवाल है कि क्या अब बांग्लादेश मिलिट्री या बांग्लादेश आर्मी ये किसी न किसी तरीके से बांग्लादेश को चलाएगी या कोई और ऑप्शन है इनके पास?
देखिए, the history अगर आप देखें पाकिस्तान एंड बांग्लादेश के, I mean they have been ruled by the army for a brief period. Pakistan में, of course, the almost 40% of the times at the time Pakistan became independent, 40% of the tenures of the government, I would say, have been by the army through the martial law and all those things. बट बांग्लादेश में भी है, ऐसा नहीं है कि बांग्लादेश में कभी आर्मी ने रूल नहीं किया है. बांग्लादेश also they have been there, and with the present this thing. But what the present chief of army staff, he has been quoted and made public also that abhi interim government they'll be handling the various things, and they will try and put into place elected government in place. So let's hope for the best, but for the time being, army rule will be there, and actually it should be there also for the time being. Reason being, the situation is, first of all, the priority is to get the situation under control. I think the peace should prevail in Bangladesh. Then only they can think of putting some government in place. So ये बहुत जरूरी है, पहले situation को पहले control करना, वहाँ पे थोड़ी peace and अराजकता जितनी जो फैली हुई है, those things have to be taken care of.
And next question which comes to us is that what will be the future relationship between India and Bangladesh?
देखिए, जहाँ तक रिलेशनशिप बिटवीन इंडिया एंड बांग्लादेश का सवाल है, वी हैव बीन एंजॉयिंग बेस्ट ऑफ द रिलेशनशिप जब तक शेख हसीना थी, And in future, if you see बाकी parties कौन सी हैं जो मैं अभी government की बात कर रहा था कि यार will be putting some government into place, some democratic elected government in place. Which all parties are there? Jamaat-e-Islami, और दूसरा है the Nationalist Party. And both these parties, these are the only two parties. Both these parties are anti-India as it is. They have been in place in the government earlier also, and where a lot of anti-India activities have been taking place in Bangladesh, जहाँ पर कि ISI took full advantage, चिटागोंग हो ये और भी इलाके जितने भी border हैं, वहाँ पे terrorist के camps थे, and the terrorists used to infiltrate into the eastern states. बांग्लादेश का अगर आप नक्शा देखें तो there are 5 Indian states चारों तरफ which are with Bangladesh shares the border with. So all these states में infiltration उस टाइम होती थी, terrorist activities के ये सब था, और साथ में the Rohingyas who were there, तो ये सब उनके टाइम में होता था. अब चूंकि now Sheikh Hasina is not there, who had a good relationship with India, and they favored whatever the India wanted. But now with the opposite two parties, they are the poles apart. So they being anti-India. So अभी इसमें आने वाले time में I can see a lot of problems in the relationship between India and Bangladesh. It's not going to be that simple and that friendly, I would say. और अगर आप सिर्फ बांग्लादेशी की नहीं बात करें, मैं तो कहूँगा कि अगर आप you see the neighboring countries, सबसे पहली चीज तो है if you see the security of India, India would never like to have a neighboring country which is unstable. स्टेबल होना बहुत जरूरी है. एंड और अगर आप चारों तरफ जितने भी नेबर्स देखें, पाकिस्तान नंबर 1 एनिमी, चाइना अनदर एनिमी, बांग्लादेश पार्टी जो आएंगी अगेन एंटी इंडिया, म्यांमार में एज इट इज मिलिट्री रूल है, दे आल्सो यू कैन से मोर और लेस दे आर एंटी इंडिया. और श्रीलंका somehow the things got saved, otherwise वो भी एंटी इंडिया होते थे, प्रेजेंटली दे आर नॉट. मालदीव देख लीजिए आप, they are anti-India government is there. So India की situation is very precarious, I would say, because चारों तरफ से जो countries हैं neighboring countries, they all are anti-India, and इसका फायदा कौन उठा सकता है? The best फायदा उठाएगा ये चाइना उठाएगा. So they should not play into the hands of China. अगर चाइना के hands में play किया, especially Bangladesh, then there will be a lot of problems, especially for the northeast states, जो हमारे 7 sister states हैं. वहाँ पे there will be a lot of problems, and China will look forward to take advantage of this situation and somehow get a hold in Bangladesh.
अगला सवाल जो है कि जैसा आपको पता है कि इंडिया हैज टाइटेंड सिक्योरिटी अलोंग बॉर्डर्स एज ए प्रिकॉशन. व्हाट आर द इंडियाज कंसर्न एज ऑफ नाउ?
देखिए कई एक सिक्योरिटी कंसर्न्स, बाकी तो मैंने मेन चीजें आई हैव ऑलरेडी कवर्ड, but at present India is concerned why the security all along the border between India and Bangladesh is tightened. उसके 3-4 कारण हैं. देखिए सबसे पहला है कि they might be because of the turmoil, there might be influx of infiltration यहाँ पर हो सकती है. There might be people coming into India to taking a shelter and 1,000 which will affect our economy and our security problem. दूसरी चीज है रोहिंग्या. देयर आर ऑलमोस्ट 10 लाख प्लस रोहिंग्यास हु आर स्टिल देयर in Bangladesh, and they are the one who have been infiltrating so far. So उनकी भी तादाद जो है बढ़ सकती है. So India would not like these people to come to India. Next है जो हमारे वहाँ पे हिंदूज हैं. As you had brought out that initially, I mean, they had almost 20% as Hindus. Now convert होते होते अब जो है मुश्किल से just about 7 to 8% they are there. But then they are there. Even 7 to 8% भी numbers काफी होता है. तो उनकी security is also another concern for India, because उनके खिलाफ अभी मंदिरों में भी जो है कुछ एक तोड़े गए हैं. तो एंटी हिंदू फीलिंग is there, for which India needs to wake up. हमारे students हैं वहाँ पे जो पढ़ रहे हैं, almost 20,000 students, and of course since this whole thing turmoil started 1 month back, तो लोगों को warning भी दी गई थी कि भाई please come back. Almost about half of them have already come back. 10,000 students वापस आ चुके हैं India, and India would like to get the balance of the students who have gone to study there to get them back. तो ये अच्छा. नेक्स्ट है द टेररिस्ट. You see, ये जो अराजकता जो चीजें हुई हैं, the violence which has taken place, it was a peaceful demonstration by the students. क्या ये स्टूडेंट्स हैं जो इनके स्टैच्यू, मुजीबुर रहमान के स्टैच्यू एंड प्रेसिडेंट के घर में घुसना और तोड़ फोड़ करना चारों तरफ, एंड गवर्नमेंट बिल्डिंग्स को जला देना, वहां की म्यूजियम थी उसको भी जो है गवर्नमेंट की उसको भी जला दिया गया. Who are these students? No, to my mind, they are not the students. They are the, I would say, the terrorists who are infiltrated into this. और ये बड़ा कॉमन सा रूल है, जहां पर भी आपके राइट्स और ये लंबे जहां पर राइट्स चलेंगे, लोग धरने पे बैठेंगे, उसमें ऑलवेज दीज फंडामेंटलिस्ट्स एंड द टेररिस्ट मिलिटेंट्स, दे विल ट्राई एंड इन्फिल्ट्रेट एंड क्रिएट chaos देयर, जिससे लॉट ऑफ डैमेज टेक्स प्लेस. चाहे आप इंडिया में देख लीजिए, चाहे आप you take any country, so same thing has happened here also. And of course उसको कौन फेव कर रहा है? The ISI. So these are the 4-5 main concerns, immediate concern, and that is why the I would say the entire Eastern Command has been put on alert. And जो forces हैं हमारे BSF groups and others who are guarding the border, they have been put on alert कि इस टाइप की कोई infiltration या इस टाइप की कोई movement towards India नहीं होना चाहिए, so that we can retaliate, we can take timely actions.
Next question is that most of the neighboring countries are anti-India. Is it a happy situation for Bharat as such?
In fact, the answer to this question I have already covered in my previous उसमें मैं तकरीबन scenario को मैं cover कर चुका हूँ कि how there are all these countries. नेपाल ले लीजिए, पाकिस्तान I have already covered, पाकिस्तान and China वैसी enemy की कैटेगरी में आ गए. बांग्लादेश, both the parties जो हैं वहां पर they are anti-India. So अगर गवर्नमेंट बनती भी है, situation will not be that goody-goody relationship, वो नहीं होगा. So they will be anti-India. म्यांमार में as it is the military government is there. You take Bhutan में भी they are not anti-India, but China is trying to develop good relationship with Bhutan, so that pressure from the north is there on India. नेपाल में अगेन वहां भी तख्ता पलट एक तरीके से हुआ है. आई मीन न्यू प्रेस जो वहां का प्राइम मिनिस्टर जो बने हैं नए वाले ओली, तो ही इज अगेन एंटी इंडिया. तब एंटी इंडिया, इसका फायदा कौन उठाएगा? चाइना, एज इट इज नेक्स्ट डोर पर है. यू टेक श्रीलंका, समाउ बचा हुआ है. समाउ वी हैव बीन एबल टू मैनेज द चाइनीज इन्फ्लुएंस देयर, नॉट मच एक्सेप्ट फॉर खमनपुटा जो नेवल बेस उन्होंने बनाया, जो अपना पोर्ट दिया है श्रीलंका ने, बट अदरवाइज एटलीस्ट एंटी इंडिया नहीं है. मालदीव्स ले लीजिए, अगेन एंटी इंडिया गवर्नमेंट. तो ये सिचुएशन इफ यू रीड द एंटायर, एक तरीके से इंडिया को घेरने की कोशिश कर रहा है. किसका इंटरेस्ट हो सकता है? द फर्स्ट कंट्री जिसका ध्यान में आएगा दैट विल बी चाइना. चाइना विल ऑलवेज टेक एन एडवांटेज बिकॉज इट वुड लाइक टू put lot of pressure on India, because in future में ध्यान में रखते हुए कि अगर कुछ हुआ, कुछ फ्यूचर में कहीं कोई वॉर होती है कुछ, तो एटलीस्ट, और अमेरिका का जब प्रेशर होता है उसकी वजह से इंडिया इज आल्सो एक्टिंग, so at least pressure will be there on India not to do anything on the Chinese border as such. So next है अमेरिका. अमेरिका का भी इंटरेस्ट, you see, America will never like to have a strong India. तो एक तरीके से इसमें भी हैंड बांग्लादेश में भी उन्हीं का माना जा रहा है कुछ हद तक. सम इन्फ्लुएंस वाज देयर एज पर द रिपोर्ट्स व्हिच आई हैव, एंड दे विल आल्सो लाइक टू पुट प्रेशर, इनडायरेक्ट प्रेशर ऑन इंडिया, सो दैट वो उसी के कहने पर चले, उसी के उंगली के इशारे पर जो है वो नाचे इंडिया. तो दैट सो दीज आर द टू कंट्रीज. सो वी हैव टू बी केयरफुल, वी हैव टू फाइट अगेंस्ट दिस. वैसे भी हमारे relations with the other countries are other balance of the other countries are very good, and we would not like to fall in trap. I'm quite sure at the highest level pe the thinking must be already on as to what should India do, how should India react, and hopefully things should look good. Let's see, the time will tell now.
एक हमारे युवा साथी जो दर्शक हैं, उनका एक सवाल हमारे पास आया हुआ है, थोड़ा है लेकिन है सवाल, तो उसको पूछना हम चाहेंगे. हाइपोथेटिकल क्वेश्चन है. पर काल्पनिक
अच्छा,
इसको हम कह सकते हैं। शुड इंडिया
ओके।
टेक ओवर बांग्लादेश? ये
इंडिया
क्वेश्चन
टेक ओवर
थोड़ा
बांग्लादेश?
हाँ
अच्छा, ओके ओके,
अब
हाँ ठीक है, मीन वाइल्ड
जब ख्याल आया
ख्याल,
तो
एक्चुअली वन कैन से इट्स अ वाइल्ड थॉट, बट ऐसा करना नहीं चाहिए। इंडिया शुड नॉट टेक ओवर बांग्लादेश एज इट इज। इंडिया की अपनी प्रॉब्लम्स ही काफी हैं, एंड विद अगर बांग्लादेश को भी टेक ओवर कर ले, लेट्स से एट दिस स्टेज, दो सिचुएशन अगर देखा जाए, क्रिएटिंग प्रॉब्लम्स, एक अगर प्रॉब्लम कंट्री है एंड इफ इट कैन टेक ओवर, नथिंग लाइक इट, शायद तभी इस बच्चे के ख्याल में आया होगा ऐसा, बट इंडिया शुड नॉट डू दैट, बिकॉज वहां पे जितने जो क्या कहते हैं मुस्लिम नेशन है, एज इट इज इस्लामिक कंट्री है, एंड लॉट ऑफ रोहिंग्याज आर देयर, तो अगर हम उनको अपने कंट्री में जोड़ेंगे एंड मेक इट एज अ स्टेट बीइंग रन डायरेक्टली बाय दिल्ली, फ्रॉम दिल्ली, तो दैट इज नॉट अ हैप्पी गो सिचुएशन एट ऑल। इट इज समथिंग लाइक कि जैसे क्या हम पाकिस्तान को टेक ओवर कर लें, तो और या लेट्स से पाकिस्तान बोलता है कि हमें वापस विलय कर लेते हैं, लेट्स जॉइन हैंड्स, तो क्या इंडिया एक्सेप्ट करेगा? तो नहीं, इट विल नेवर हैपन, एंड दैट इज व्हाई, तो अदरवाइज बेस्ट अपॉर्चुनिटी तो हमारे पास 1971 में थी। It was we who helped creation of Bangladesh, but still we did not, and rightfully so. तो अभी भी ऐसी सिचुएशन नहीं होगी कि इंडिया विल टेक ओवर। So I am quite sure the जिसने भी ये क्वेश्चन पूछा है, he would have got the appropriate answer to his question.
Thank you very much, sir, for the serious
Thank
discussion,
you.
and which you summed up also, and I am sure the young listeners will get educated, and they should also learn that there are no permanent friends or enemies in the foreign affairs. Anything can happen, and we should be prepared for each and every
Prepare for
eventuality.
the best.
Thank
Thank
you very
you,
much.
and Jai Hind, Brigadier UK Singh, and Jai Hind, the viewers.
Friends, on whichever social platform that you are watching our videos, I'll request you to like, subscribe and share them for the benefit of others. Thank you very much.